Hi. How is everybody today? I hope you're doing well. So I'm trying to do just a short live today. Yesterday I ended up, I really had a horrific migraine, and so although I had curled my hair yesterday, I had to, well, for my headaches to go, is Facebook again. For my headaches to go away, a lot of times it requires water therapy for me. So basically what that entails, I've tried it other ways, like bending my head over a sink and things like that, and it doesn't work for me. So water therapy, how that works for my migraines, is to actually get in the bath. I actually have to, get in the bathtub, and lay with my head facing down, so under the faucet, and put the plug in the tub, of course, stop it up, and run hot water. I can let that hot water beat on my head. Specifically, I try to do it where the most pain is coming from. So like yesterday, it was right here. So I kind of had to keep my head a little bit to an angle. And then another thing I do, so the water rises and it comes up over your ears. So that takes care of the silencing. And the only sound that you can really hear is the sound of the water. And somehow that is very soothing for me. And the reason I use hot water instead of cold water is because I do have medication to prevent migraines. That doesn't always stop them though, and I have prescription medication that is supposed to alleviate the pain. Well, it can take up to 2 hours to work. So yesterday I had taken like three of those. I'll show you. It's where do I have it? Oh, excuse me. I'll show you what I take for that. I don't even know how to say Citraptrin or something like that. So I always have to have a supply of this on hand. So even if I didn't use it for the month and they asked me if I need it, the answer is always a resounding yes. Resounding yes, I need that, because I do get times where the headache is so bad I have to take multiples, and usually when I is in like that, then I'm going to typically need it for at least another month. So I do have a backlog of it, but it's necessary, because it only comes with 9 pills, so they're figuring you're only going to have 9 headache days. Well, when I get on a streak with having the headaches, it's every day. So I need to take that pill. Typically it works within 2 hours. However, yesterday it just did not. I took 2 of those. They're real tiny, real little bitty little pills. They come in that box like I showed you. But then see, I always keep some loose because the packaging is hard to get into, most especially when you're already suffering with a migraine. So I keep some of them loose. I keep them in this little jar above my vanity. I'm really thinking I might need to pop some of those open and just put them in a container. So, maybe have 3 or 4 just in a little pill bottle, so that they're easy to get to, or easier. So yeah, I had to take 2 of those, plus I took like 9 Excedrin migraines. Nothing was helping. This headache was just horrendous. And yeah, the thing that finally made it go away is the water therapy. So I did that. That was like towards the end of the day after I did the broadcast here with y'all. So I did that, and I didn't even bother to get dressed after the water therapy. I didn't dry myself off either. I just wrapped myself in a towel, and I wrapped the ends of my hair in a towel and laid down. I just wrapped my hair so that it wouldn't saturate my pillow. I find that is the best way that I usually get rid of the headache. Now, when the headache is bad enough, I've had it where water therapy won't even help. Not as much. So in those cases, when it's like that, I actually end up having to get out a heating pad in conjunction with that. And now, so the philosophy of the using the heat instead of the cold is because when you have a headache, you're not getting enough blood flow to your head. And your veins and capillaries start shutting down. So that doesn't allow enough blood flow. Well, we're taking the medicine and it enters our bloodstream in order to get to the area of the body that is having the pain. In this case, it's the headache. So, with the hot water and the heating pad, which instead of using cold and restricting the capillaries and the veins even more than they already are, it actually opens them up. It causes them like a flower to bloom. So it opens it up. And then the blood can flow more freely to the area of the brain that needs the medication. So that's, just water therapy alone doesn't do it. I need water therapy and the medication, plus absolute silence except for the sound of the water, and darkness. You'll notice I don't have as many lights going in here today. That's because I do fear another headache. So I don't have as much going. I had told somebody yesterday I would do some research for them. I did that and sent it to them privately, but this is some information that I actually really want to print out and share equally with everyone else. So her question was, what would I recommend for hair loss? And so for hair loss, some things I recommend are actually vitamins and minerals. And I did a little bit. I knew that biotin was good for the hair, skin, and nails, and collagen, which is good for the hair, skin, nails, and joint health. It's also good for our face, of course. That's part of the skin, so of course. Recommendations for healthy hair. I'm just going to give a few basics. You start with the right supplements. Try not to be on a restrictive diet. You may have to be because of other health conditions. So consult with your doctor on what you can still incorporate into your meals that would give you natural biotin, vitamin C, zinc, collagen, vitamin D, vitamin B, all these things. Just you should be okay to take them, but if you have other mitigating health circumstances, consult your doctor. And if you're taking other medications, consult your doctor as well. Like if there's one supplement I take that's called DHE, and so I take it for dryness reasons. So it works, but this was something that I know because it's a hormone therapy. It's like for hormones. So it actually boosts testosterone. I don't feel like I really need any testosterone, but I know it helps with other things, like for the female body, dryness in certain areas, and so I take sertraline and some other medications for anxiety and depression. So I needed to consult with my psychiatrist. Yeah, I said it. So yeah. So I'll just tell you right now, I'm bipolar 1. I present well. I present better than many. However, it is definitely there. I feel like I've been better and worse throughout the years. But anyway, so I knew that this hormone situation could affect my depression and anxiety medication. So a lot of people would think of those as psychiatric meds, even though the psychiatrist has to prescribe them. Zoloft and Wellbutrin and things for anxiety are not considered to be psychiatric meds. They start considering things psychiatric meds like lithium. There's some other ones, but those are. So when you start getting into the antipsychotics, is when they start considering them psych meds. Or they have people that take meds for hallucinations, whether those be audio or visual. When you start taking prescription meds for that is where the cutoff line is considered to be psych meds. So yeah, we don't need, it's hard for some of us, because of stigmas that people who aren't on these meds and don't have to take them don't necessarily know what the situation is. So it's really important that we be understanding of others. So anyway, I'm going to come back on later tonight and curl my hair. We got the new set of rollers that I'm going to use. I imagine they're going to be a pain in the butt to sleep with, but that's okay. So I'm just, again, wetting my face so that my hyaluronic acid can be activated. So we have half a dropper of hyaluronic acid in my hand. I'm using a vitamin C. This bottle is vitamin C from Avon. It's actually my favorite. However, I will not lie to you and say that's what is in there right now, because it is not. It's a vitamin C from the drugstore, at the dollar store, whatever you want to call it. But it came, that vitamin C, since it came in a clear bottle, and vitamin C breaks down with light exposure. So I bought it, and I kept this bottle, one, because I like the squirt top better than the plungers. So I kept the bottle for that reason, and for the reason that it's a darker color, so it allows less light in to break down that vitamin C, that acid. So, and that's why it's in there. Then we're going to use a moisturizer. And here's the thing. Here's something else. So, we've talked about moisturizing before. Our face really doesn't, it needs a moisturizer, but the concept is kind of misconstrued. So our body does a fairly good job of moisturizing itself, as long as it's hydrated. as long as the body is hydrated, our body does a fairly good job, unless you have some kind of medical condition, of moisturizing itself, as long as the body is hydrated. So we want to make sure that we drink plenty of water, and I find myself lacking in that department. Drink plenty of water. And we want, when we're applying things to our skin, what we actually want is things that hydrate our skin, not moisturize. So we call it a moisturizer, but what we really want is a hydrator, something that encourages hydration. So the primary way that you're going to get that is by drinking a lot of water. And anything in excess can be poisonous. I'm going to tell you that, even water. So, be moderate in your water consumption too, because if all you're drinking is water and you start feeling sick, that's because you're overhydrating. So we don't want to do that. That can become toxic to the body as well. So I would recommend up to at least 64 ounces of water a day. So that's what we want to do. And that water is going to help flush out and detoxify our system. It is also going, and then when we're detoxifying our system with the water, some of that hydration is going to come in the form of sweat. We want to sweat. Oh, I need to do something real quick. Sorry. Hey, Siri. Oh, Siri, turn on Do Not Disturb.
Okay, Do Not Disturb is now on.
Okay, great. I gotta touch that to return. Okay, sorry about that, Instagram. I had to take a brief break from you. So we want to sweat. That is going to help us detoxify. So we don't want to smell stinky. I know that. So maybe we use a deodorant. We want to use something that doesn't have aluminums in it. And actually, to tell you the truth, I haven't checked to see, and this writing is so tiny on this, if it has aluminums in it or not. I will tell you that I use the deodorant. I used some while ago, but I'm going to put a little bit more on. Yeah. But please do not use antiperspirants or anything that has the aluminums in it. Because what that does, look, see, you can see the little pores and stuff in our armpits. It blocks those pores. The aluminums and the antiperspirants block the pores. When the pores are blocked, the toxins cannot escape our body. Those toxins building up in our body leads to carcinogens, which causes cancer. So especially, and please, anybody, please don't use anything with aluminums, and please don't use antiperspirants, because that's also turning off those sweat glands where the toxins are going to build up inside of our body. And we don't want that. We don't want cancer. It seems so simple, doesn't it? When we think about it, you wouldn't think that, I got to put some on so, I don't want to sweat that much. I'd rather see a man or a woman with some sweaty pits than somebody having cancer because they used an antiperspirant. Yeah. I mean, you can always throw some baby powder or something under there as well. It's okay. And the hair under our arms, you know, as women, we're taught to shave that stuff. And I do. But the hair is put there for a reason. Now, so if hair wasn't supposed to be there, God wouldn't have created it. And if hair wasn't meant to be there, men would have to shave it too, right? Right. But they don't. So it's a double standard. But the hair is actually there to collect that sweat, to keep it from running down your body. And yes, that is going to lead to some little, ooh, you're sweaty. But have we ever noticed, like, somebody who works hard for a living, then, you know, does labor, physical labor, and they're kind of sweaty? Our guys are out building our backyard ponds, and they come in sweaty. Aren't they just so sexy? And they've been out there sweating and working hard. Well, same is true for us females. So, yeah. Don't do that. Double standard. I'm getting all way out there with this at this point. Let's see. So I'm just talking at you so far today. We are going to use the L'Oreal Infallible. I do not want to use any primers today. I want to see. I think the last couple times that I used the L'Oreal Infallible, I did use a primer with it. Well, I want to see how this stays on its own. And this time, I also want to put it on with the sponge. So, I think I used the brush, and this time I'm using instead of 201, the which is the more rosy, has the pinkish undertone. I am using the 202, which is more neutral to cool undertone. So we're gonna okay, we're gonna get that off the back of our hand here. Okay. No, that's all I needed was that one little squirt. Putting it on with the sponge. That's something else I want to talk to. So, as I was saying, it's something else I wanted to talk to you guys about is our makeup sponges. So, how many of you use Beauty Blenders? The actual brand, Beauty Blender. I don't. I'm not paying $20 for a sponge. So, absolutely not. Yeah, I like this one better. This color is a little bit darker. Not much, but just a little bit. And I think it's about right. So I do buy some more expensive sponges when they are super cheap on sale. I have a subscription service that I use, and when I find that they're on sale, I'll buy a bunch of it at a time. But to tell you the truth, I'm still working on one from 2 years ago. Seriously. You might think, oh, gross. No, not gross. I throw this in a little mesh bag and throw it in my washer. It comes out perfect. Now, it's just now starting to get a little ate up here. Just around here. So you know what you can do? You can cut that piece off if it bothers you. And you can continue to use that sponge. This is 2 years. 2 years. I also use denatured alcohol to clean it as well. So your sponge, that's going to get rid of. Well, and I also, in my laundry, when I'm doing laundry, I use the Lysol sanitizer in my laundry. So it sanitizes everything. Plus I have a sanitized selection on my washer. Now I don't put the sponges in the dryer. I think that would probably ruin them. When you're taking out your other laundry, just go ahead and grab that little mesh bag and pull your sponges out. But a sponge can last forever, and I do make my makeup practically every day. So let's move on to the next thing. Yesterday we did not do or eyebrows or I'm going to get a couple of different things out here. We did not do our eyebrows, we did not do eyeshadow, we didn't do a lot of stuff. Excuse me a minute while I get certain products out. Okay. That is actually, yeah, we want that, and we want the Huda. Let's see. Sometimes it takes us a little while to collect everything that we need. There we go. I saw something else, and this is another tip I want to share with you that I had never thought about before, but when it was said, it made absolute sense. So I'm going to show you that in just a second as well. And it has to do with our eyebrow brushes. So I hadn't even thought about it, but it made such perfect sense as soon as the gal said it. I was like, how come I didn't realize that before? So let's see. I didn't get out the color though. Oh, that's okay. I think this is the Wet and Wild. Yeah, in the light brown. All right. So the first thing I want to do, it looks like some things got mishmashed around here. Okay. All right. The first thing that I want to do today is actually use my Anastasia Beverly Hills brow gel. So what I want to do with that is I want to run it through my eyebrows that way, and then up, and then back. Okay, and then this one. Actually, let me get a little bit more of that product. This one is fast on the steady on the decline. I did get another one of these. I was actually sent another one that I want to try out. But all right, so we're gonna let those dry for a little bit. While those dry, here's another thing you can use if you're into using dip brows. This is a good tool to have. Of course, I mean, like, not dip brows, but if you're into doing a soap brow, this is a good tool to have. I do have a soap brow, but I actually don't like it very much. And it is by Iconic London, which, just so you know, I mean, it is L'Oreal. Okay, it's L'Oreal. Yeah. All right, so let's see. Do we want to use any of these today? I almost want to just save these. All right, let's see. Let's see, folks. Do I want to use this? Okay, those are. Yeah, I think I'm going to use the Mishu today. All right, that's our brows have had a little time to dry now. So now this is the tip that I wanted to talk to you about. All right, so we get these, like if you're using a dip brow, something that you buy at the store, You'll usually get a brush that comes with it, and you'll notice that it's very sharp and very stiff, very sharp, very stiff. So sometimes we're dipping into our dip brow, and we're just going like this and dipping in, right? It never occurred to me that that ruins the brush, and that we won't get the precise eyebrow that we want. So the way that we want to do it is we want to hold the brush on the side and glide it over the product. Oh wow, that one seems to, this L'Oreal seems to be dry all of a sudden. I think that can be fixed with a little oil, but all right, so I'm just gonna, now my brows have already been put into place with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Gel. I am applying the dip brow. All right. Ashley, oh my gosh, that made such a better eyebrow. I don't even think I need to use that pencil at all, but I might. All right, so you notice I did it, it was on one side. Now I want to use the other side of the brush. Get my product. So, I wish we had some music going. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? I mean, just to have a little something playing in the background. Today I don't even have on my TVs that I typically have on in the background. I don't know. Maybe it's because I needed that silence yesterday, and I just have gone with it. All right. Yeah, I think we just need. I don't understand. I keep the cap on this thing. I keep it tight. I don't understand why it dried. It seems like it's dried out so fast, but it has. So, All right. We want to use a little eye primer. All right. Let's get that on. This one is the Viseart. I'm just using a little teeny tiny little amount, and I'm going to brush that over the eyelid. I'm going to try to do the same amount. Yeah, just like that. See how little it is? And brush that over the second eyelid. Okay. Okay. I'm thinking, you know, I've told you guys all before, I am not a big concealer person, but today I think I want to use a little bit of this Huda Beauty. This is the Overachiever concealer, and the color, I can't read it right now, guys. I'm sorry. I have some other colors as well as this, but I just want to kind of see which one is going to work best with this L'Oreal Infallible. All right, so we got our concealer there. We don't need big triangles, guys, under our eyes. Young women can get away with it and look all right. The older we get, or the more medical conditions we have, and our body stops producing as much collagen, the worse concealer is going to look if you just mat it on like that. So young women, you're putting on a lot of concealer using this triangle method under your eyes. You don't need it. You're young and beautiful, and roll with it. And older women, please don't, because it just bunches up on us. You could go in with a light concealer and then possibly use a little powder. Again, young women, you can get away with using the powder because you don't have the lines under your eyes yet, but you don't need it. And older women, we might need it, but just we only want to use a little bit. because we don't want that powder is actually going sets into the fine lines and wrinkles. So we probably shouldn't use the powder, but if you want to, I would actually say use the powder before the concealer and use the powder before the foundation. Go into these deep grooves here, our smile lines or our marionette lines, into our worry lines here, around. Use a little bit, just very sparingly under the eyebrow, under the eyes. But you could use it under the eyebrows, I guess, if you wanted, but just sparingly. And the reason that I'm just talking with you, letting this concealer set, because it actually applies better when you let it start getting a little tacky. So this kind of brush that I'm using with this concealer, it's called a kitten paw brush. They have bigger ones, they have littler ones, they have ones that are shaped more like kitten paws, but this is a type of kitten called kitten paw brush. And you know what? I think this concealer is actually too light for that foundation. I think, now you know what I think? I think I am actually going to need to break out a little bit of powder. I'm trying to see if I have something that has a little color to it, because most of my I do have a few powders. Most of them are translucent. Definitely the By Perry is translucent. The Bella Pierre is translucent. Let's see, I got one more. This one actually has a little bit of color to it, but I only keep it because I want to show you what not to do, or what will happen to your powder if you use a wet sponge going into it. But yeah, it's got a little bit of color to it. All right, that's bringing some of that color back. I got a little bit of fine powder that's on the cap, so I'm using it. But okay, they always tell you, to go into your powder with a damp sponge when you're going to apply it, and then it works better. In truth, it actually does. But please don't. Not even if you have the powder in the cap, please do not go into that powder in any part of the packaging with a wet or damp sponge. I'm going to show you why. Alright, so I popped the sifter cap on this. I always have the sifter, but look at this. Look how cakey that is. Let me see if I can turn this up just a little. Can you see that? How cakey it is? That's from using a wet sponge or a damp sponge. Don't do it, girls. If you want to use a wet or damp sponge, get a piece of tissue. In fact, like I keep some close by me. What the heck? That jar is popping off again. Anyway, I keep some close by. Just tap a little powder onto that dry tissue, and then dab in with your damp or wet sponge. It will work much better, and you won't destroy the powder like that's been destroyed. And truthfully, that's the only reason I keep it, to show you guys that this is not. And when they tell you to do this, they don't tell you all the reason, they don't tell you all the tricks. They don't give you all the information that you need. So I'm going to try to do that. And let's see here. I do not feel like using a blush today, but I have this very pretty powder. It's from Avon. It's the Colors of Love FMG collection. And so, what's this say? Anyway, so it's a collection of little balls and wonderful little pink balls and little pink hearts. Oh, where did it go? Where did that go? I'll find it. So what you do with this is you just swirl your brush into just just like this. I'm actually overdoing it at this point. I had the proper amount. You just swirl it in. And I would look, if I were you, I would look at the bottom of the brush before you start applying to your face. Because sometimes those items get caught inside the hairs of the brush if you're using one that's too fluffy. So this one's fluffy, but it's not as fluffy as the bigger ones. So that's the reason I'm using this. See, you can see the little indentions where the beads of color touch the brush, but there's no beads of color. But there's no beads of color actually stuck in the brush. So I'm just using this as an all over my face, but primarily on my cheeks. And I'm just, see? Just to give you a little radiance. It's like you might say it's an all over, use it as an all over face highlighter. So, yeah, but I truly like it right in here. When I do that, I typically do not use any bronzing, but I think I actually do want to do a little bit today. I need to get out that sculpting brush. Now, a lot of times you guys have seen me take this and apply it straight to the skin. I like doing that. It's not really suggested. The suggestion is to take your brush and rub it over the top. So that's what I'm doing today, since I already have the radiant beads applied to my face. And I'm just using a little bit, just a tiny bit across the forehead. And we'll swipe a little bit more. Put that here. A little bit more. We'll put that here. Yeah. All right. Now, look. I have the brown highlight. I have the brown, and it's going up to my eyebrows to make the snatched little nose look. But I do not need to apply any more powder because it just worked out right today. So we're gonna put that there. All right. Let us continue on. So we got highlighter, blusher. We have a little contour on. I don't think that we need to use any bronzer today unless we take it down the neck and chest. If you want me to use it all over, I will, but I just want to use a little bit down. I don't really want to put too much on my chest because while my eczema is looking better, it is still there. So what the doctors had given me doesn't work for me with this eczema at all. I'll tell you what did. Coconut oil. It dried it out. And I got a new little patch right here. This is still healing. They're dry now, but it still isn't gone. So, yeah. All right. Now, I was thinking about some eyeshadow, and I just don't know. Yeah. So I'm going to try to use this Misho palette today. I really, really like it. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a I almost said transgender. Oops. I was watching something about Christians at the Pride Fest, and how they were actually being attacked. So just like all people have a right to gather, and some of you, this may piss you off that I'm going to say it, but all people have a right to gather, and all people have a right to protest, as long as those gathering or those protests are done peacefully. So the pride people were having their gathering, and the Christians were on the other side having their gathering. And unfortunately, the LGBTQ blah 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 and blah plus, I'm sorry because I can't get it all right and I don't want to, they attacked the Christians, physically attacked them. I don't condone Christians bullying people at their Pride Fest, and I don't condone the LGBTQ plus community attacking anyone either. Yeah, that's probably why I almost said transgender. No, that's just wrong. You fight hard to have your rights recognized. You need to recognize the rights of others as well. So, anyway, let's go in with this transition shade. And the shade I'm going to use is called Unbothered. I'm just going to take a blending brush and sweep that across this area. Now, also remember that wherever you put your brush down is where the most pigment is going to be. So I tried going somewhat for the middle because I actually want more pigment in the middle here. Also remember, if you want more pigment and a tighter hand and more control, then you're going to hold your brush down here. If you want more blending and sweeping, then you're going to hold your brush in about the middle. And if you really want it light, then you're going to hold it down here all the way at tip. I like mine more in the middle, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold the brush about in the middle, and I'm not going exactly to the middle here. I'm going more towards the side middle. We're going to apply that transition shade. Then I want to use, I'm trying to sort of do a cut crease, but without putting extra product on and then taking it off. I just feel like, I don't know, I just feel like that's such a waste of product. It bothers me. I'm like, why would you put it all over your eye just to take it off? But that's just me. So, I'm going to go in to the outer part of my eye here with a darker brown, and it is in the color Madam. So I've just dipped into Madam. You can see that. Gosh, let's tap that off. Oh, it didn't really want to fall off the brush either. I think I need a light control on this. So I am going to hold the brush down here. Yeah, that did it. That was enough for both sides of the eye. And now we want to sweep it. I want to sweep it this way towards the inner eye. All right. I want to keep using this brush, but I need to take some of the color off, so I'm just using this. See how it takes that color primarily off. All right. So then I want to go in with Ijama. I think that's how it's. I can't tell if that's an L or an I. But it's Jama with one of the L or the I in front of it. I don't know. But I want to take that color and put it on my blending brush. And I want to just go over the transition color and take it up. Blending down and then blending down again. Okay. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Go over the top of the transition color, blending up, and then down and over the eye. All right, we're going to sweep that color off again. Anyway, so if I have offended anybody by my comments, I apologize, but I have a right to my opinions just like you have a right to yours. All right. Then I'm going to, next, I'm still using that same brush, and I want to take the color Magnificent. I'm having trouble getting the word out. Magnifique. It's supposed to be like magnificent. But okay, so I just patted into that color, and I want it here in the middle, and blend that in with the brown there. Do the same thing on this eye. Blend that in with the brown. All right, and now we only have. Now I still want to. I want to take that color off the brush. I want. Let's see. I think I want a little pencil brush. Here we go. On the pencil brush, I'm with this little pencil brush. I'm going to take the color Mishu, which is like a almost bone color, and I'm going to go under the brow bone with it. Okay. All right. Now next. Remember we used the glitter glue yesterday, and I thought it might work a wonder on the lips. Well, it did. However, yeah, I could still see how my lips are not smooth, but it did. You could still see the little lines and stuff in the lipstick. I want to work on getting smoother, fuller looking, luscious lips. So I don't know. At some point, I might think about like trying some lip injections, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I probably won't, but it crossed my mind. All right, I'm just going to take a dab of glitter glue, and I'm going to put that in my inner corner. This is the NYX glitter glue. And I have not forgotten that I put this using the NYX Jumbo Stick. I had planned initially to put it down here and go over the top of the glitter with, or go have the Jumbo Stick under the shadow. But all right, so I put a little of that glitter glue down, and now we're putting unbossed in the corner there. I think that makes it pop. I'm going to go slightly over into the middle shade of Magnifique. Okay. Yay. All right. Now I'm going back in. Typically I do not do this, but I am going to go in with the pencil brush into what we used as our transition shade, Unbothered. And we're going to, this pencil brush might be a little bit too big. but I'm just putting a bit of the Unbothered under my eye. Okay. Now, here's the part where we're going to get to what I said I was going to use in the initial part of this video. First, let me wipe off my brush. Alright, we can put that one away. Alright, now, we're going to try, I already determined that the, what I thought, because I've seen other ladies use it, the L'Oreal Voluminous Stick in their waterline area here, for the upper waterline, and not have it budge at all. I used it and it was all over under my eyes, everywhere. So, thankfully, I got another product that I can try. So, let's see. Let's heat up our lash curler while we're doing that. So, I simply want to raise the eye. Oh, come on. Oh, yeah. It's going on nicely. Can you see, guys? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now comes the work, because we need to get this eye. Come on. All right. I'm going to tell you when I come back to you this evening, whether that stayed or ran. I'm actually going to put it in this bottom line as well. Okay. I think the L'Oreal Voluminous went better into this bottom waterline than this one's going. That smudges I did. Okay. All right. All right. So that is that, and I just marked on my freaking brush. Now I'm just going to take my brush, and I'm just going to, this corner looks a little darker than the other, so I'm going to try to sweep that. I like that. All right, let's put away the jumbo stick. Let's go in with this eyelash primer. I like to wiggle it across. I feel like it picks up the product. Your eyelashes pick up the product better. Yeah, I can definitely see. I see the black from doing the. All right, so I may want to think about doing the primer before I do the waterline. Look at that. I messed it up. It's got black on it. I need a new one now. All right. We're going to go in with the Item Beauty Lash Snack. Okay. I didn't like. Okay. We can put that away. Let's curl our lashes, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. See, now I was telling you how much I didn't like that Item Beauty Lash Snack, but now that I've used it in conjunction with the L'Oreal eyelash primer, I think it's beautiful. And it's taken me a couple uses to come to that conclusion. Because, you know, you figure out how to use different products together and how to make them work together. And each item is going to work differently together. Alright. Well, I got some smudge under my eyes already, and I'm pretty sure that is from the jumbo stick, because it's jumbo. I mean, when I went to put it on the bottom waterline, it kind of crossed over the eyelashes a little bit. Oh, gotta turn that off. Okay, turn that off. Put it away. There we go. Something tells me I'm into something good. Okay. I'm not doing the hair because I am going to. I'm not going to wash it because I just washed it the other day. But I am going to sop my hair down and get it ready for the rollers for this evening. I think I'll come back. I think, I'm not sure, but I think I'll come back on with you and do the roller set. Okay, we need some lip liner. Where did you go? Oh, there it is. This thing was on top. Hey, that's not it. There should be a dual sharpener on the top of this tray, and if Ashley May was, I swear. Oh, I mean, I'm just gonna be quiet. Yeah. I'm just gonna be quiet. It will serve me better. Oh, so I'm still watching the puppy, and she is curled down here, laying down here across the back of my chair on the floor. She likes to be with me wherever I am. Okay. Alright, and you notice I didn't go all the way to the ends there, and that is because your lips will actually look bigger. Hi, Danny. Your lips will actually look bigger. Send me some stars, Danny. Your lips will actually look bigger if you don't go all the way to the corners, because when you go to the corners it pulls your mouth out this way, or it's the illusion, so that makes your lips look longer but thinner, right? We don't want to do that. All right, but what you could do is fill this part in right there, right there. Okay, then I'm not going all the way to the corner, but I'm also doing another thing where you just fill in the ends there. And then we're going to look for a color that is lighter. Oh, I think this one will work. A color that's lighter, yeah, lighter than the lipstick. I mean the lip liner. Go. All right. This was I'm kind of a more brownie orange, or orange with a little orangey brown color. So I don't know. That's okay. It's not a color I'm used to wearing. And then I want to use a little gloss, but I don't want to mess up my gloss. Yeah, I like this color that it is. It's like, it looks like honey. So I have other glosses too, but I picked out this shade to go. So I want this shade to be seen. I'm just going to apply the gloss to the back of my hands. And then I'm going to use the lip brush to pick up some gloss and apply. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's spray some water on this stuff so we can clean it up, clean off the makeup off the back of my hand, clean up the brush. All right. All right. So when I come back this evening, girls, ladies and gentlemen, my preferred pronouns, or the ones you were born with. Yeah. So, when we come back this evening, we're going to use this type of roller. Remember these? But most of us had lost the clip part, and so we had those little pikes that you stuck in there. I love these kind of curlers. So tonight we're going to roll the hair with these. I have some jumbo ones to go across the top. I'll show you those. I got a set of jumbo. Then, and I'm thinking we'll need about 3. And then I have 2 packs of these. So we're going to roll the hair in those. And I'm going to have a very uncomfortable night's sleep, but gorgeous here the next day. So I look forward to seeing you this evening. And have a great day, guys. Love ya.